Next article from New York Post, Michelle Obama says, white America acts like black women don't exist. Former race-baiting First Lady Michelle Obama said on her podcast Thursday that white America acts like black women, including herself, don't exist. And that's because she's an attention whore. She wants your attention. The only way that she can get it is by saying you're an oppressed woman, African-American, Wajin, or a Kleenex, i.e. the Latinx. The people that need the Kleenex to dry the rivers of lib tears coming off their snowflake eyes. She says basically the white feminists don't give her enough attention. So let me get this straight. You associate with almost all white feminists. White feminism is a racist form of feminism where they put white women's issues above everyone else's. And so you're surprised that these white women don't put you above them? Hello. Are you insane? Obviously, she's a race baiter. Obviously, she is just trying to provoke conflicts, try to shame the white people so that she can get political points. This is why people hate the Obamas, because they were a bad politician. President Obama did a horrible job. You might think, oh, he did all these good things, but Republicans also had another alternative to that was even better, that we got prevented from having our option that was superior. And during President Obama's during his 8 years in office, race relations in the United States went from the best they've ever been down to back where they were in the 60s and 70s. It tanked. It went south. After that, it's because they started pandering to minority groups. They started saying, you know what? We can win by just pandering to the okay, so all we got to do is we got to take the tax money from the white people, and then we give it to the black people to get the Latinos to pay for us or vote for us. Or you give it to the Latinos to get the black people to vote for you. But they never actually give it to you because they're in control of the big city. Almost all big cities are controlled by liberals. It's always been that way. It's because people in the city don't have to only rely on themselves like people in the countries do. They can advocate for socialism, and they can just say, "Oh no, just give me the fruits of someone else's labor. I'll make those dollars stretch as far as they will." Right. Like you just give money to somebody who didn't earn it, who doesn't respect it, and then they're just going to magically not waste it, right? This is my biggest problem with the Democrats, is that they are race panders. They don't care about what happens to the white people. They think you're privileged, that you have this unlimited amount of white privilege that they could attack to get political brownie points, to cancel you, get you fired from work, replace you with someone who is younger or more diverse or of a different gender. And it's because Democrats owned slaves. They started the KKK. They opposed women's suffrage. They passed the 1994 crime bill that created the prison industrial complex. They created cancel culture. They are engaging in cultural Marxism to wipe the white people off the map, to replace our English language that is so beautiful with Spanish, which is another beautiful language. But when you change the language, you change the culture. And if you are a Marxist and you are trying to change the culture, you are a detestable scum piece of shit Marxist. Cultural Marxist. The worst kind of Marxist. The most detestable people of the past century, of all human history. There has not been a single more detestable low-life form of people than cultural Marxists. They've murdered over 100 million people. That dwarfs the death counts of everyone else. It dwarfs it. Dwarfs by orders of magnitude. Nobody else slaughtered anywhere near that many people. Nobody. No. But this is what they support. And it's because people give them lip service. People don't fact check them. People tend to like on liberal posts because the ideas make you feel good. Conservatives tend to not like people's posts that they don't know because they're conservative. So in the social media world, you see liberal ideas rising up and then conservative ideas getting suppressed. And then Facebook actively compresses, Facebook and Twitter, and Quora actively suppresses our conservative politics. And because the liberal ideas they already have a bias to be shared by all these goodies who click like because it makes them feel good or they agree with the worldview. But then you start to add in the additional censorship from the administration, the ownership, and then the moderators on these social media companies. And then it's just like a perfect storm where they, they're like trying to suppress things that they think are far right, but in reality, they're just like run-of-the-mill conservative. The only reason why they think they're far right is because the far left wants to wipe those things out so they could take over in a power grab because they're terrorists. They're terrorists. They're murderers. They're killers. They're psychos. They will steal everything that you have. They don't give a fuck, dude. They hate you. They want to wipe you off the face of the map. This is what you're supporting when you support black looter mobs. It is this is insane that any of this stuff is going on. Hopefully, though, the black conservatives will grow in strength and they can talk sense into them because my tongue is too sharp. I just want to talk shit to them, tell them off, and then get into a fight and fuck them up. That's my own personal thing. But, my strategy is not going to be so good. So I need as much help of people who can translate my rough talking talk that the beta males cannot deal with because they're beta as fuck. They can't take any sort of they can't take tough dudes because tough dudes win. The only way that they can win is by whining, being a complete little pussy, and stabbing you in the back and using like narcissism to make you feel bad, to shame you into not being as cool as these people who wear the fancy clothes that look like the ravers or the hip hoppers. And so we got to organize on the internet. The people in Eugene aren't liking on my posts. I need people to follow me on Facebook and like all my stuff and share it because I'm not a hateful person, but I do want to fight these people. I do want to whoop their ass. I do train every single day to beat their ass. I'm ready to beat their ass. I'm 100% eager and willing. Definitely ready at a moment's notice to do that. Definitely lifted weights twice today. Been doing it a lot more. I do also have a punching bag. I like to punch. I like to kick. I'd like to kick ass. I wrestled in high school. I could fuck them up. I'm not trying to advocate violence towards them. I'm saying that we should. It's only for self-defense. But you should also too pump iron and be ready to take these people out because they're not going to stop. Black looter, you are crazy if you think black looter mobs are going to stop. Once they figure out that they can use violence, hatred, and hostility to get whatever they want, that's the textbook definition of a hate group, they're not going to stop. No. They're going to keep going, and then it's going to turn from this into something else. That's the way it's going to happen. That's the scariest thing about this, and that's what most people don't see, but I've seen it enough to where I know it's going to happen that way because I've had people do that to me. I know that once they learn that they can just shit talk and then bully you, that they will continue to do it. Because once they've kicked you out of their scene now, they're in an echo chamber. They control the narrative. Then they can control who hates you. And then you go, good luck getting on the other side of that. You just got to beat their ass at that point in time. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying you should never break the law. You should always follow the law. But, reality is reality. Sometimes you got to whoop ass in order to protect your family. Definitely ready to do that myself.